All right, here we go with another Freestyle Friday. And this is what we're going to do. Look at this, everybody. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Whoa!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Freestyle. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
There you go.
It's July 16th of 2021. I'm Chauncey, your host, and I'm joined by, just wonderful members of the Sustain It TV team. Of course, there's Renee. Hey, Renee, how's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm here. They yanked me on camera and they won't let me go. And by they, I mean Brandy. Hey, Brandy, how's it going?
I'm doing well. These people act like I'm running a slave ship over here.
You said that, I didn't, and neither did Renee.
I didn't say
now,
it.
and you put that on the internet, it lasts. So with that said, we have a lot of internet stuff to talk about. Some of it is interesting, some of it's complete trash, but it'll be up to you watchers to figure out what's interesting and what's trash. I won't tell you, but we are going to start with a particular platform that people love. It baffles me, it boggles my mind how things go viral on TikTok. But now we know that TikTok is becoming Book Tok. What? According to NBC News, the title of this article that we have in our description is TikTok is taking the book industry by storm and retailers are taking notice. Because what's happening is old books are now new again. People are discovering them on Book Tok. And certain authors are now launching their own platforms from it. So, this is a platform where people are doing crazy dances and whatever else. Do you really want book advice from TikTok? Renee, what do you think? Are you going to join a book club, a TikTok book
If
club?
the book is good, I'll take the recommendation. So if the book is good, they have some good recipes on TikTok. So they have some good books. So
They have
why
recipes
not?
on TikTok?
Oh, food TikTok is amazing.
Yeah, food TikTok is pretty impressive.
Now there's food. Is there anything that's not a TikTok? Is there weather TikTok? Like
Well,
which
it's just a
place on the
hashtag.
globe has
It's
the
just a
best
hashtag.
weather?
It's not like a whole new platform. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I get gardening
Food
tips in
TikTok
there.
stuff
So
is crazy though.
yeah.
Like some food TikTok, I think I feel like some food TikTok stuff is ridiculous. Like it's like let's overwork to get food. Like let's take an egg,
The chef is speaking now, everybody. Go ahead.
like let's make an omelet by taking an egg, putting it into a bowl, dumping it into a slotted spoon, separating the white from the. It's just like, guys,
Wow.
this crack. Take the shell, crack it, separate the egg white. It's not that much. Like so, sometimes food TikTok can be ridiculous.
Well, all TikTok. That's that one guy that goes like this. Because it's kind of like. Y'all haven't seen that guy?
No.
So
I've never been on TikTok,
watched videos. He watched ridiculous videos, and he's like, it could be like, oh, how I open a canned soda, and they do something real ridiculous, like take it like a shoestring, and he pop it over from like across the room, and he like takes it like.
I know this guy, but
Like, this is so ridiculous.
I was introduced to him through toothpaste. There was a video where somebody had taken a toothbrush, cut the bottom of it, drilled a hole into it, put like a little screw in it, connected the toothpaste tube to it, put some electric tape around it, and squeezed it, and put a hole at the top so that when they squeezed it, the toothpaste just came up and they could just brush their teeth. And he's like, toothpaste, screw it open, put it on top of the toothbrush. Yes. That's TikTok.
He's the number one guy on TikTok, actually. He's
Actually
like the
like
most famous guy or something on TikTok because it's like, why?
And
He don't say a word.
book suggestions from this platform. Okay, so Brandy, do you trust TikTok, Book Tok, whatever Tok, to give you your next book recommendation?
So if it's a summary of the book, like in point form, why should I be reading it? What is it about? What's the author? And I could just kind of compile a list that I can go do my own research. I think TikTok could be useful in that way. Am I going to just go, oh my goodness, this was on TikTok, let me go order it on Amazon? Absolutely not.
Okay, well, another platform that they call social media, Twitter. Twitter is getting rid of the fleets. Now, if you're going, what's a fleet? Exactly. it was there and gone so quickly that the name is correct, fleeting and fleets. So this is, what is it? Is Brandy, isn't this like some sort of tweet that doesn't last or something like that? Explain this nonsense.
Yeah. A fleet is Instagram's attempted response to the success of Instagram. Twitter's attempted response at the success of Instagram story success. So you know how nobody does anything that's individual. If it's successful, people jump on it.
You gotta do it.
So people saw that Instagram stories was being was really successful, right? So like Instagram stories last for 24 hours. So Twitter decided that they wanted to create something called the fleet that does the same thing. Exact same concept. You put the freaking video up, it dies after 24 hours. But no one's on Twitter for fleeting. They're on Twitter for tweeting.
Yes, which was supposed to be Twittering when they first started it, but the tweeting took off. Because, you know, literally that is the correct word, Twittering.
It was supposed to be Twittering?
Mm-hmm. Twittering, yeah. Like a bird, you know, they twitter. Mm-hmm. So birds don't
tweet. So tweet is not a word?
No.
Birds don't tweet?
No. Well, that,
we made that up?
Tweet. But yeah, it's literally Twittering. But whatever, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
Okay. Yeah,
instead, Renee, what I'd like to know from you is how many fleets have you sent?
Me?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, I haven't been on Twitter in 10 years, so I'm sorry. I'm old.
Who is the Twitter user? Like, if we had to create an avatar of a Twitter user, who would that be? I'm interested in that because I kind of know who goes to Instagram, pretty much everybody. Facebook, we know, sorry, Facebook tends to be, you know, some people have some experience, I would say it that way. But for Twitter, who is it? Renee, when you think of Twitter, who comes to mind? What kind of person?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I think that when it initially came out, it was for the millennials, but I think we've moved past that. I think we're more on Instagram now.
Yeah.
I mean, none of my friends even post regularly either. So I think it's the people that really like social media. I don't know anybody that consistently posts, because that's what Twitter is. You're posting your like play by play throughout the day, right? Yeah, I don't know nobody that do that anymore, but I have like a little small bubble. So
it's a lot of work, right, Brandy? I mean, on Twitter, it's a lot of work.
Twitter tweets only have an 18-minute lifespan. So that's why it's so important if you are going to use Twitter as part of it.
What do you mean? What do you mean by that 18-minute lifespan? What does that mean?
It dies after
it dies down.
Minutes, it dies. It goes. It's way down the feed. So if you want to get back into the conversation, you
got to go back up to
get back up. Otherwise, you just
you have to tweet every 18 minutes.
Yes, that's if you want to.
Do you guys like regularly tweet, like personally tweet? Like, do y'all still use Twitter?
I don't. I've never been a Twitterer. I've only attended Twitter parties.
I tried.
It's just too much.
My head is about to explode. Twitter parties, Twittering, Twitterer, tweets, tweeting, fleets. Well, at least we can delete fleet because that's
with the fleet. I know there's a couple celebrities that would prefer to tweets because cancel culture would go back 17 years.
Fleet
stuff you said 17 years ago. So
you said the C
they
word.
Might appreciate it.
C word.
The one thing I will say for Twitter that could be beneficial if you're looking for like, why should I use Twitter? Everybody has a place on social media where they live. Like, some people like LinkedIn, some people like Twitter, some people like Instagram, some people like Facebook. If you're trying to connect to somebody and Twitter is where they live, it might just be a good idea to meet them on Twitter, engage with what they're posting, talk back and forth with them. It is a place where you can meet people who tweet, like they communicate via tweet. So that's a benefit to Twitter. And it tends to be really effective for like the entertainment space.
So like it's basically what you're saying, Brandy, is follow your audience. But here's my last question, then we'll move to our final topic. what is the point of this vanishing stuff on social media? Why are people so enamored with that? You know, I post something that goes away. Well, goes away.
Nothing goes
right
away because when it was there, somebody could have screenshot it. There's no. I mean, but it's this fake sense of security that like, oh, I can put something here and then it's not going to be here later.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's the exclusiveness to it. Like, did you see that post I post yesterday? And they're like, no, you missed it. That was some good posting, but you got to be on there to see it. You missed it.
Yeah.
And then, so what I noticed, the cool kids, as I call them, they don't post on their actual page. Like, go to a person that always posts on their stories. The actual page might only have one picture. They don't post on the page itself. They just post in the story. And that's
so it's all about FOMO.
So you gotta be on to see what that person is doing. So it kind of is like Twitter if you think about it.
Makes sense. Yeah, they're forcing you to track them. Yeah. You can't go take a nap. You can't go have lunch. You better keep that phone going or you're going to miss it.
You're going to miss me opening up my can of water.
Well, you can have more about tweets and fleets in our link to the Verge story there. Now, we have 2 links for the final topic, which we're coming back to. And this corporation might want us to, stick with them in real time as well, especially to know what's real and what's fake. Subway is clapping back. We talked about this before, I think 2 weeks ago, about is there really fish in the fish that Subway has fished? Well, Subway says yes. And we have a link to a Business Insider article and one from Veg News. Okay, so Veg News is getting in on it. So Subway tuna is real tuna, they say. That's right. The truth is Subway uses wild-caught skipjack tuna regulated by the FDA. How dare you come after us, they're saying. A favorite among sub lovers, our tuna is and has always been high quality, premium, and 100% real. What do you have to say? Now, just so you know, Veg News tells us that Good Catch, which is a little a food truck, is trying to get in on this with their vegan tuna sandwich. So they're giving out fish-free tuna sandwiches in front of Subway to encourage the chain to ditch fish for good. Good luck with that. But Renee, what do you think about the Subway fish controversy or not? They're clarifying it. Do you believe Subway?
Didn't they test this in the lab? It wasn't like something that the person made up, right? They just didn't say, hey, this is fake. They actually tested this. Right?
Well, they say that there is a problem with those tests. When you do DNA tests of fish, it can not identify the fish, supposedly, something like that. I think that was their explanation, that you can't rely on the test. I don't know.
Well, they did say they didn't know what it was. So it sounds like the test is unreliable. Because they didn't say, oh, it's crab or it's halibut. They said, we don't know what this is. So I guess Subway has a point. It's unreliable.
Mm-hmm. So, Brandy, what do you think? You use, as someone who used to go to Subway all the time, tell us, what do you think about the tuna fish, the skipjack tuna, 100%?
Well, I mean, so my relationship with this tuna is very, very, very intimate. So I used to like that tuna fish. It was bland as all crap. So I literally
never liked this Subway tuna.
I constructed a sandwich, the sandwich that I loved, and it was I had to build it. There was an order of operation to make that sandwich good. I would take the bread, the honey oat, I think it was wheat bread, right? Put the tuna on it. Then you sprinkle it with some black pepper. Then you put some of the sweet peppers on it, right? So it's the black pepper, the sweet peppers, right? Then after you do that, you put the tomato on there. Then you put the spinach. Then you put the onions. Then you put some banana peppers. Then take a little bit of red, what is that called? The red vinegar that they had.
Vinegar.
With the what's that called? What is it? Oh, the Italian seasoning, right? But see, when you did it, you have to have there was the fish side with the black pepper, the tomato, and the
yeah, to
sweet
make a
then you had the other one, right?
creamer.
And then you put a little bit of the sweet onion sauce on the side with the sweet onion side on the side with the fish, and then a little bit of the Southwest side sauce on the side with the veggies, and then you smash the sandwich together. I'm gonna tell you right now, people, that's the only way you eat Subway tuna. Because otherwise,
So basically, you just put it in with a completely different sandwich because
it's so bland. But
It's straight out of the can. Are they saying it's fresh or it's not canned? Because skipjack is canned when I go to the supermarket.
they say wild caught, Renee, wild caught.
And the can says that too, but is it from the can? Technically, everything is wild caught. Technically.
Even
technically.
Well, instead of farm
once they
raised,
catch it, do they can it? And then get to Subway and they open the can.
we don't know, but they do have for you, Renee, and for everybody, subwaytunafacts.com. So if you want to go there, you can learn all of the facts about the tuna. I have had this tuna sandwich, and Brandy, you're right. You do have to, you got to
jazz it up.
Now, I would put those spices and the vinegar on top of the fish, then layer. Then you can do it again. You see, so there are ways around this. So if you want to make that tuna work, you can. Just know that Subway's telling you, no worries. What are you talking about? This has always been real.
So did their sales drop or just the tuna?
I don't know. I don't know what happened to their sales.
That's an interesting question. We should investigate. But I will say, shout out to Good Catch. One of my teachers in school actually was one of the co-founders. So shout out to Good Catch. And that's a good faux tuna. If you're looking to, explore plant-based living and you happen to be able to snag one of those free tuna sandwiches that they're hijacking the Subway controversy and using it for marketing, branding opportunity, give it a taste. It's actually pretty impressive texturally and flavorful too. I mean, it was created by a chef, so.
Yeah. And remember, there is a class action lawsuit against Subway. So they are incentivized, whether they're losing revenue or not, they're incentivized to get this out. So, wow, we went from Book Tok to Fleets to Tuna. I mean, who knows what we'll do next week? We do. So I'm looking forward to next week and what'll be happening then. Maybe we'll have even more from Subway next week. We'll see, Renee, if they answer your question
story.
about. Yeah,
I'm going to Nancy Drew it.
Well, okay. Well, so you'll be our on-the-ground correspondent. We'll see what you have to say when you report back to us. And with that, everybody, that is Freestyle Friday. We will be back next week. But remember, at Sustain It TV, we give you something every day. So keep coming back. And I'll tell you this, it's always 100% wild caught around here. Okay. Bye, my friends.